approached me this evening and asked me if that is me in the picture. And I want to clarify, if I look 10 years younger than that picture, then no, that's not me. That's not me. Okay, this is me. So with that said, before we get started, I want to ask you guys just 3 really important questions, and that would be, I want to know if all of you here are in a good mood, and I just want to, kind of get a feel for the room. If all of you are in a good mood, just tell me if you're in a good mood. Yes. 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 Awesome. I also want to know if all of you are having a good time tonight. The food is great, the environment, the people that you're with, are you having a good time tonight? Yes. Okay, great. How about, would you say that most of you here, if not all of you, have a great attitude? Yes. Okay, great. So we're going to do this a little different, okay? I'm a big believer in the power of yes. I believe that the word yes is a very powerful word. And so I'm going to ask you these questions again, and I'm going to give you 2 choices in answering them. I want people in the Palmetto, the people that are driving in the Palmetto, to hear you. So you're either going to answer yes or yes. Those are the only choices you have. Yes or yes. But I want you to do it, and I want you to do it from your heart. And so, are we all in a good mood? Yes! Awesome. Great. Are we all having a great time this evening? Yes! Wonderful. You didn't even give me a chance to give you the other yes. Good. So, would you say that you all are people that have an incredible attitude? Yes! Great. So, speaking of attitude, that's exactly what we're going to step into now. Attitude. What if I told you that attitude isn't everything? Attitude isn't everything. And I bet that many of you probably thought that I was going to say that attitude is everything, right? Because we hear this. We often hear this. We hear this all the time. There's folks that actually tell you that attitude is everything. But I'm here to tell you that attitude isn't everything. How many of you actually think that I'm wrong? And you can please, by all means, I want you to let me know that I'm wrong. I want to know, you think that I'm wrong. Great, so why do you think that I'm wrong? Why do you think that attitude isn't everything?
Everyone said that attitude is everything.
Okay, good. Anybody else disagree with me? Because I'm telling you that attitude isn't everything.
Positive attitude is everything.
So what if I told you that attitude isn't everything, but attitude is the most important thing? Does that make more sense to you?
Yes.
Yeah. And why do you think that attitude is the most important thing? It isn't everything, but it's the most important thing.
Because it can lead to some other things.
It leads to your growth.
So what about if attitude is the most important thing because it sets the stage, not only for how you're going to have your day, how you're going to live your life within that week, that month, that year, and even for the rest of your life, right? So how oftentimes don't we go through an experience and the attitude that we have through that experience lets us determine whether it was a good experience or a bad experience? Have we all experienced that? Say yes. Yes? Yes, yes or yes? Yes. Yes? Okay, great. Wonderful. So would you say that someone who competes in a marathon, right? And maybe not for time, maybe not for a cause, but simply because you're competing for, say, an award, right? Someone who's competing for an award, something bigger, maybe even for a prize for money, comes in 3rd place, maybe even 4th place. Would their attitude about coming in 3rd or 4th place, clearly they didn't come in 1st place as they wanted to, determine their entire experience? Would you say that it's going to determine their entire experience, their attitude about that experience? Yes? Okay, so what would happen to someone who chooses to have an attitude that is negative about that experience? Because, they didn't come out in 1st place, they came out 4th, or maybe even, 5th, 6th place. What do you think their attitude, having a negative attitude, what's the impact it's going to have in their lives? Does anybody know? Can somebody just raise your hand and let me know?
It's a negative impact.
So what would the negative impact do for them? Do you think that they're ever going to try out again, or maybe join another marathon?
It depends on the kind of person. The loser mentality.
Loser mentality? Okay. How about when they talk about what happened, how do you think that experience, how do you think they're going to express, how do you think they're going to communicate and convey the experience that they just had? Right. So do we all agree that experiences are all perceptual? Meaning it all depends on the individual and the perception that we have of our experiences, right? So what about that same person who came in 4th or 5th or 6th place? What if their attitude attitude about the experience was a more positive experience, was a more positive one, right? What would the more positive attitude? What would you say would be the outcome of that experience? What would you say it would be?
Different?
Could be completely different, correct? Right. So that is why attitude isn't everything, but it is the most important thing. And in our lives, the way that we show up, the attitude that we have about the experiences that we have is extremely important. The same goes with the attitude that you have in how you show up